Rob, let's get right into it. The big game yesterday on Mother's Day, the only game left, the only game 7 in this round. And lo and behold, surprise, surprise, the Philadelphia 76ers laid an egg. Rob, this is why no matter what the Sixers did, heck, honestly, the Sixers could have went 82-0. And I still would have had my doubts about them. They could have won 65 games, and I still don't think I would have picked them to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And the exact reasons that I did not pick them to get to the finals and to beat the Boston Celtics, and the exact reason, Rob, why I said on this radio show and on First Things First, the TV show, that I did there wasn't a hint of doubt in my mind that the Celtics would beat the Boston. There wasn't a fiber of my being that thought Philadelphia might beat Boston.
Fiber is good for you. Very good.
Yes. And it was because of the things that happened yesterday. The very reasons I thought they couldn't advance to the finals all took place yesterday. It was Doc Rivers' inability to hold a lead in the playoffs as a head coach, and now he's blown another lead. 3-2, I know that's not a 3-1 lead where he's blown 3 of those. Three
Chris,
times as many as any other coach.
Game 5 in Boston to shock them.
You're
you know
going home. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I know it's not 3-1, but my God, you went to Boston, you beat them on their home court, and then a goose egg. You can't win another game.
Yep.
And you're 100% right. We both sat here last week on Friday. There was no way that the 76ers were winning that game. We didn't give not one iota. Not one scintilla.
Nope.
Not one aberrus. Can I keep going? I don't know.
Well, I'm impressed. That's that Ivy League education.
You know? I paid for it. I'm going to use it. Well, but you get my point.
Totally.
We're not shocked. Who's shocked?
Who's shocked? Who's shocked? Is
Nobody.
Anybody out there shocked that James Harden had 9 points?
In a big game. And then Joel Embiid, Chris, after the MVP, talking about, well, it can't be just me and James. What?
Rob.
What?
Now, I would
Chris,
say
that was the lamest comment I ever heard.
I was going to say, let me preface it with this.
Okay.
He did give a paragraph or so. He talked about it's on me. I got to be better. He did say that, but you are right, Rob. I can't think of in my 20 almost 30 years of covering professional sports.
Right.
I cannot think of a worse a bigger pass the buck quote than that.
100%.
Rob, that would have been bad. That would have been wrong if he had dropped 30 points and grabbed 20 rebounds.
Yep.
But to actually you did half of that, 15 points, only 2 in the second half, 8 rebounds, 5 for 18 shooting. Al Horford bullied you, sunned you, and you give me that quote?
Right. You're talking about the reserves and the other players. When you laid an egg, Chris, when I heard that, I did a Danny Thomas spit take with my water. I just was like, what? Are you kidding?
And PJ Tucker showed up. He the only reason y'all were in it in the first half because Harden was playing so horribly. Tobias Harris showed up.
Yep.
It was you and Harden, Joel.
And let me say this too. Chris, we've talked about it before. Absolutely stunned, both of us, when they hired Doc Rivers after the Clippers collapsed. We thought Doc would have to sit on the sidelines for a year or two, Chris. We thought that he'd have to kind of get the stench off of him, right? That was it. Not that he couldn't coach again or another opportunity, but we were stunned it happened right after that.
Yep.
He gets the job, whatever, and look at where they are once again in this situation. I'm sorry. After a while, you have to start to look. The common denominator, Chris, there's one common denominator.
Thank you.
Stock.
It is.
It doesn't make any sense.
Right. And look, we're not going to sit here. We know basketball. I played in college. Rob's covered it for decades. We know the game. But we're not going to sit here and tell you we know as the X's and O's like Doc Rivers.
We don't know basketball like him.
That we could go back and forth with him. Yeah, right. We're not saying we know more basketball than Doc Rivers. But we're going off the results. That is a result-oriented business.
Chris, what do we always say?
Nick Nurse just got fired. Mike Budenholzer just got fired after winning championships a couple years ago. Monty Williams just got fired. I'm not saying
he was coach of the year.
They do what they want with Doc. But, Rob, we saw this coming. What made you think he was the one to get you over the hump?
I don't get it. I don't get it. And it played out exactly like we thought. I mean, this could not be all the people, Chris. The gamblers made big money yesterday. I'm going to tell you without even looking at the books. Trust me. There ain't no way they bet on Philadelphia going in there to Boston and winning Game 7. They piled up. Hey, put it all in the middle. Put it all in, okay?
And, Rob, here's the thing, too. And I gladly voted for Joel Embiid. I'm not taking that back. Like you've said before, it's a regular season award.
It's a regular season award. So we talk about it all the time.
Right. But, Rob, after winning the MVP, and let's keep it real, campaigning for it for the last 2 years. Am I wrong?
Nope.
Campaigning for it for the last 2 years.
And boo-hooing last year when he didn't win. Yep.
I don't know what I got to do. You can't go out like this. This is the worst exit for an MVP that I can think of. I know Jokic was he swept or beaten in 5 or something like that in the first round, but they were injured. They were banged up. This, I think, is the worst off the top of my head since Dirk Nowitzki when they went out to the AC after he won it. And they had that sad press conference after they had been eliminated. But, Rob, here's the other thing. James Harden. You sat there after game 1 when you dropped 45, which was great, and told us, Rob, I can do this. Y'all surprised? They just don't want me to do it here. They just don't need me to do it here. I got a different role. Y'all really forgot?
That's what we heard.
You can't say that and then do exactly what we have been downing you for. This is sad, Rob, because just like you've heard me say, I can't think of a player who's gone from the regular season performance to the playoffs, made such a jump to the playoffs like Jimmy Butler. Rob, you can say what you want about Patrick Ewing never winning a ring, and Charles Barkley and Karl Malone never winning rings. I don't remember him going out like this time and time again.
Right. This is not a one-time deal where you could have a bad series, Chris. Right. That's doable, okay? Nobody's perfect. Bad. You could have a bad, something's not right. But to continue to do the same thing over and over, and we say it all the time, sports has a short menu, Chris. Yep. Wins and losses. That's what it is. And when you keep doing the same thing and keep losing, how in the world can people take you seriously? They just can't. Trust the process. Are you kidding me?
We ain't trusted nothing.
How about crash the process?
We trusting is that y'all gonna crash and burn in the second round.
Like they've done time and time again. And this one, when they went up to Boston, Chris, and they won that Game 5, people were like, "Oh, look, they're going to the finals." Wow, going to the conference finals. No, they're not. And I was like, when they gave up that game at home, I was like, there ain't no way they're coming back from that.
You knew. Rob, I wasn't even surprised it was a blowout.
Neither was I.
I was actually surprised it was close
early on. It was early on it was because it's like you knew eventually Boston would put its foot down, Chris, and run away with the game. Early on, Boston's at home. The pressure's on you. You know what I mean? To play because everybody's expecting you to win. Right. So the other team can come in and be a lot looser. Nobody expects us to win. So you just play. And then when you realize, okay, we can take care of this team. They did. They did a great job.
And that's exactly what they did. So, and we got to shout out Jason Tatum.
No doubt.
We know this was talking about Philly, but Rob, 51 points, 13 rebounds. 51 is the Game 7 record in the NBA.
And think about this, Chris. He had a terrible Game 6 all the way up until the fourth quarter, 4-5 from 3. He outscored the Sixers 16-13 in that fourth quarter, and then he puts a bow on it with a 51-piece in their mugs. I mean, like seriously. And Jason Tatum, I always was like, I was always bothered by that birthday party when he took the night off, Chris. I was. But I gotta give the guy credit. Because he showed up when the chips were down, and he could have, if he had a terrible fourth quarter, Chris, in that Game 6, his team would have been going home. And he didn't. He came through, and then he made sure in Game 7 on Mother's Day, I saw him after the end of the game with his mom, and what a great picture that was.